Italian Wine Podcast. Chin Chin with Italian wine people.
This podcast has been recorded during Vi.Vite, an event organized by the Alleanza delle Cooperative Italiane, the Alliance of Italian Coops.
Hello, this is the Italian Wine Podcast with me, Monty Waldin. My guest today is Wolfgang Raifer, and Wolfgang is the oenologist, or one of the oenologists, for Cantina di Soave. Are you the head oenologist?
It's my profession is oenologist, but I'm the vice director of the company, to be correct.
Right, okay, so and that entails everything, basically.
Most of it. I'm in the good position now to can learn a few more years to get probably in 2020 into the position as a general director.
Oh, I like a man that thinks ahead.
Yeah.
So where are you from, briefly?
I'm from Alto Adige, exactly from the county of Fapiano. I studied enology there, and I was a winemaker at the winery called Terenzio, then export manager, then finally director, and now since few months I went Cantina di Soave.
Do you think it's important to have both the knowledge of the marketing side, the business side, as well as the winemaking side?
I think it is a plus. It's not something you have to have when you are in the winemaking. It doesn't mean that you know about marketing, that you know about all the skills that are important there. But in my point of view, it helps.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about Soave in general, the size, the grape varieties, the villages, etc. And tell us a little bit about Cantina di Soave, which obviously is the biggest producer of the Soave wines.
So Soave is a very old denomination, historical, and already in the ancient Roman time they talked about the Soave as a beautiful and great wine. And of course the history of the grape was always very good. Unfortunately in the last 30, 40 years, Soave is not having such a good time. I consider Soave as one of the very important white wines of Italy. We are talking about 7,000 hectares approximately. 1,500 is Soave Classico, means the hillside area, and the rest is considered, means always a very good area, but not, let's say, the hillside, which is Soave.
So what's the percentage that the cooperative has of Soave production, roughly?
We are the biggest producer of Soave with approximately 40% of the Classico area and 45% of the regular Soave area.
So obviously you've got a lot of influence and power on
influence, but not only influence, we have also responsibility of the area, because if you're one of the biggest producers, you have means what you do is means it's reflect immediately on the denomination.
I'm a big fan of Soave.
Yeah?
And honestly, no, I am. And one thing that I was really impressed by when I was last there was that collectively you've really done a great job mapping your area, the villages, the terroirs. Just explain a little bit about the different terroirs that you have in Soave, the volcanic side and the more limestone
Yes,
side.
so we are in the lucky position to are on the bottom of the Alps. If you drive from Verona up, means you drive to Trentino. High mountains are coming. They're more of calcareous origin, means deposit of sand that finally developed the calcareous stone. In the Soave area, we are in the lucky position to have these Balkans, and that made a special soil. So we have different types of soil. Depends if you are on the east side of the hills, on the west side of the hills, or if you're in the flat area. And so this different type of soil, the different microclimate we have, make out a very good mix for the wine quality itself. And so Soave always will be a very interesting, fresh, fruity wine that's good for every occasion, but it's always a wine that can age means in a beautiful way.
So what are the couple of differences of a Soave Garganega wine grown on, say, volcanic soil and one grown on a more limestoney soil?
The difference is not so big. Finally, what the aim is for the hillside, the classical side, and the regular side is always to obtain something which the consumer like very much and can understand quite easily. Because today a problem we have in the wine business is that the wine producer making the wine is sometimes very, very complex, and so the consumer is a little bit disoriented. And so we try to keep it simple and to bring out what the soil gives us. And so we don't go to explain deeply what is the difference. Finally, we look to make wine that are very drinkable and make the customer satisfied. Cantina di Soave, as I said, is a big player in the Soave area, but not only. Cantina di Soave was founded in 1898, so 119 years ago. So next year we will be 120 years old. And over the last years, from 1996 starting, we took over several other cantinas. So Cantina di Soave, the name of course comes from the town Soave. It's representing not only the DOC Soave, but we are a very big player in Valpolicella. The denomination is a very big player also in other denomination which is called Lessini d'Urello, which gives a beautiful sparkling wine. For the Valpolicella, I don't have to say because everybody knows Valpolicella. We're talking about Valpolicella, we're talking about Ripasso, we're talking about Amarone. So the responsibility is not only about the Soave denomination, but also the denomination of the Valpolicella and the Lessini d'Urello.
So you basically got some of the crown jewels of Italian wine.
Yeah, you can say that. And,
Soave, Valpolicella,
totally,
Amarone.
Yeah, totally. Cantina di Soave today is a cooperative Cantina di Soave, and we have approximately 2,500 growers. It's 6,000 hectares of total area. So we are one of the biggest coops that we have in it.
How are you using, if I'm one of your growers,
Yeah.
what technology are you using to help me improve my grapes?
I would not say technology. We use a human factor, which is we have a lot of people that support our growers. We have the chief agronomist, which is a very knowledge man about Soave area and all what's around Valpolicella and Lessini d'Urello, and mainly it's the human support we give you. It's not a technique. But we have this guy that go out means all over the year, from the pruning of the vines till the harvest, to recommend what you should do during the year to obtain healthy and ripe grapes.
One of the lovely things I think about the Soave is some of your vines are on the pergola system, the overhead system. Now I understand that for some people that's a little bit less popular because it is more labour. Are you seeing a trend for growers to get rid of the pergola? Maybe is that a mistake with global warming?
I think that of course you have always to consider the place where you grow your wines, and then you have to consider. And then you can consider the growing system. Pergola training system, especially in the Soave area for the white wines, but also in some parts for the Valpolicella. In our point of view, it does a good job.
Okay, so what are the typical flavours in a Soave white wine?
So white wine is first of all it's freshness combined with citrus fruit, combined with almond taste. That's what you can mostly find. Then I have also to say that you are different from me, different from Maddalena, different from other people. So everybody taste also has also a different taste. So it's difficult to really describe a wine. On the palate side, always a good acidity, fresh acidity, not too intense, and then a very pleasing finish.
Okay, what about sustainability? You've made a lot of effort in terms of sustainability.
Sustainability, we try to keep it and to enforce it in the vineyard, but also in the cellar. In the cellar, it's quite easy for us because we did huge investments over the last year, and we are still doing them. We want to have more efficiency in the cellar. That means that we spend less energy, and so it's a way to be sustainable in making the wine and in processing everything. And then the other side we have the winemaking. The vineyards, where we are going ahead with a integrated viticulture. This means we do what we have to do, but as less as possible. In terms of treatments against fungi, insects, and so on.
Is there more of a move towards organics, or is that too difficult?
We have some projects that are going on. We have a lot of things in mind. We will show in the next years the focus will be on that, because quality and sustainability in the vineyards are, my point of view, one of the most important things. But the other side, we have to be also very realistic in what we can do in which time.
Do you think the slower approach is the better approach, rather than saying to everybody, look, in 5 years' time you're all going to be organic?
No, you have to push a little bit. It's not that the growers do. When you say maybe you should do it, nothing happens. So
Right.
you have to be a little bit sharp and say, now you have to do this and this and this, but of course you cannot push them. So you have to think that we have very professional growers that maybe have 20 or 30 hectares, so they are very professional, they work in the vineyards all the day. And then we have also smaller growers that have 1 hectare, and so they are not standing all the day in the vineyard. Maybe they have another job, and they can do the job, the work only in the weekend, and so you have to consider many things.
Okay, tell us a little bit about your brands. Your top brand is the Rocca Sveva. Why the name?
Rocca Sveva is a name that Sveva, it comes from Soave. It's one of the regions of Soave.
The Rocca? What's the Rocca?
Rocca is the name of a castle, so it's two names that are connected, and that was the name that was chosen 2003 when the winery was founded.
So if you got that wrong, that would have all gone in my report on the interview.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
No, because I'm with the company since March 2017. So
no excuses. No excuses. No.
2003.
Rocca Sveva. Anyway, it's a great. Okay, that's your top brand.
Rocca Sveva, let's say it's our top brand, where we have a smaller grape receivement area where we pick the grapes in small bins, and so we have a different approach and a different speed that we have to work the grapes. We have more time to vinify, we have more time to leave the wine on the fine lees, we have more time to leave the red wines on the oak, and so it's a slower way to work with the wine itself. But of course, Rockersweber maybe today represent a small percentage of Cantina di Soave. The idea tomorrow is, of course, to grow that part. But to grow that part means also to approach the market in a certain way.
So what is the approach in the market?
The approach in the market is, as you know, the market means since several years the wine market is struggling a little bit. Of course, everybody wants to make top wine that costs a lot because you get more money from them. And so that market is a little bit busy. Also here you need a little bit of slower approach.
But isn't that what Soave is good at?
To let people know what is Soave, because in fact today, if you look in Italy maybe against the export market, Soave is more well known outside than in Italy. In Italy, Soave is known maybe in the north of Italy, in the south, not so much. So what we have to do, and what Cantina Soave, but also the consortium has to do, is to communicate a lot about Soave. What is Soave?
In the Italian market.
I believe that a brand gets strong when it's strong at home.
Is that a controversial view? I mean, that's quite a...
Controversial means
you're a young guy,
means we are doing a lot of things outside. Means we are flying to Japan. We are flying to the market that is very far away. It's important to do that too. But as you know, means we have a lot of tourists in Italy, and if they come to Italy and don't see the product, it's not so good, I think. So if they see that the product is very popular also in the region, means in the country itself, it's good publicity for the.
So you'll be looking mainly at the on-trade, like the restaurants, wine bars, wine by
with
the glass.
Rockersweber for sure, and then you have different brands where means the size we have, the volume we do. We have to look, of course, for the we call it in Italy the canale moderno. It means the off-trade channel, because the volume is done there.
But would you focus on like the coastal areas? Obviously, you're surrounded by water, seafood, Soave with seafood.
Of course, Soave, my point of view, is a wine which is not so strong. If I take now, for example, aromatic grape, like Gewürztraminer or like Sauvignon, it's very strong.
Yeah, one glass is enough.
And one glass can be enough, but it's also difficult to match. Maybe it's more difficult to match with the food. Soave has a strong character, but it's a character that allows you to match more with the food. And so I think Soave could be sold everywhere finally. Today people are not requesting from the list, they are not buying the wine from the list. Yeah. So if you have a list, if you have the Soave in the list, it's not so much so high a request.
I think that's a shame. I mean, some people say that Garganega is a little bit of a rustic grape. I don't necessarily agree with that.
I think the potential of Garganega grape is huge, because out of the Garganega grape you can make a beautiful Charmat. So we're talking about spumante. You can do also metodo tradizionale, which is maybe less popular or not so. You can make a very fresh wine that you drink in 1 year or 2 years, but then you can produce also some wines with a huge aging potential.
Yeah, those. I mean, some of the ones from those limestone sites.
Our job will be to show to the customer all the positive facts that you can do with the Garganega.
Yeah, I mean,
but as I said, we have many wine regions around in Italy. We have many different varieties, and everybody wants to communicate, and so you have to communicate better and more as the other regions do.
So, yeah, when I was growing up in the wine trade a long time ago, Soave was one of those names that Soave Orvieto Frascati were just those benchmark Italian wines that were much criticised, sometimes justifiably so. But for me, they're key brands for Italy. And when they're made well, they're outstanding. It's just, what went wrong?
I think that there was a policy that was only for the short period and not for the medium and long period. So maybe the sales going down, what are you doing? You're giving more discounts, or you're selling the wine for a lower price. And so step by step, the Soave went down and became one of the cheaper Italian white wines. And once you have that image, it's difficult to grow in few years. And still today, we have some players on the market that are not behaving in a proper way. And so you see some bottles of Soave on the shelf for very, very little money. And then consumer say, why should I pay 10 euro, 15 euro, 20 euro bottle of Soave if Soave in my mind costs not more than 3 or 4?
Well, Wolfgang Raifer, that is your job. You're an oenologist. You know about the production side. You know about the marketing side. You know about the management side. That is your task.
I will try.
Come back 3 years' time.
No, 3 years' time is a little bit too less, but I will do my best to put Soave in the position where I think it should be.
I'll give you 4 years. No negotiation.
Okay,
is that a deal?
Okay. It's a deal. Okay.
Really nice to meet you. I'm going to come back up to the Veneto and see you guys sometime. Yeah.
That will be a pleasure.
Thanks very much for coming in today, Wolfgang. Really nice to talk to you.
Thank you very much, and have a good time.
Thank you.
Ciao.
This episode has been brought to you by Vinitaly 2018, taking place in Verona from April 15th to 18th. Vinitaly is the wine exhibition that helps you discover and get to know Italian wine and features over 4,200 wineries.
Follow Italian Wine Podcast on Facebook and Instagram.